The beginning of God's perfect plan. Before you continue watching, I want you to do something simple. Take a deep breath. Forget about yesterday. Forget about every heartbreak, every rejection, every lonely night, and every moment you wondered if love was ever going to find you. Now listen carefully. Because this message may be exactly what your heart has been waiting to hear. Nothing happens by accident. Not the people you've met. Not the relationships you've lost. Not even the fact that you're watching this video right now. God has a way of speaking to us when we least expect it. Sometimes through a person. Sometimes through a situation. And sometimes through a simple message that arrives at exactly the right moment. Maybe you've been praying for someone to love. Maybe you've stopped praying because you've become tired of waiting. Maybe you've convinced yourself that real love only happens to other people. But today, I want to remind you of something. Your story is not over. In fact, it may just be beginning. Right now, somewhere in this world, there is a person who has never met you. They don't know your name. They've never heard your voice. They've never seen your smile. Yet one day, they'll wonder how they ever lived without you. That person is living their own life. They're facing challenges you know nothing about. They're growing through struggles you cannot see. They're learning lessons that will prepare them to love you in the future. Just as God is preparing you. Many people think waiting is punishment. But waiting is often preparation. Imagine trying to build a beautiful house without first creating a strong foundation. No matter how beautiful the walls are, the house will eventually fall. Relationships work the same way. God cares more about building a lasting love than creating a quick romance. That's why He sometimes allows us to wait. Not because He wants us to suffer, but because He wants us to receive something that lasts. Think about every heartbreak you've experienced. At the time, it felt like the end of your world. You questioned yourself. You questioned people. Maybe you even questioned God. You wondered, why did this happen? What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I enough? But years later, you began to realize something. Some doors closed because they were leading you away from your purpose. Some people left because they were never meant to stay. And sometimes, the greatest act of God's love is removing someone you begged Him to keep. That truth isn't easy to accept. But it's often necessary. Because temporary pain can protect you from permanent regret. Your future soulmate isn't someone who completes you. They're someone who walks beside the complete person God is shaping you to become. That's an important difference. The world teaches us to search for someone who fills every empty space. But God teaches us to become whole in Him first. Healthy love isn't built by two broken people expecting each other to fix everything. It's built by two people who have learned to trust God even before they found each other. So if you're in a season of waiting, Don't waste it. Use it. Learn. Grow. Forgive. Heal. Become the kind of person your future spouse has been praying for. Ask yourself honestly. If your soulmate walked into your life tomorrow, would you be emotionally ready? Would you know how to communicate with kindness? Would you know how to trust again? Would you be able to love without letting fear control your heart? These questions matter. Because blessings require preparation. And preparation takes time. Remember this. God isn't just preparing your future soulmate for you. He's preparing you for your future soulmate. While you're praying for them, they may be praying for someone exactly like you. Maybe tonight, they're asking God for a loyal partner. Someone honest. Someone patient. Someone who will choose love even when life becomes difficult. Without realizing it, their prayer may already include you. And your prayer may already include them. Isn't that beautiful? Two people, separated by distance, living completely different lives, yet both being guided toward the same future. Not by luck, not by coincidence, but by God's perfect timing. Here's something most people never understand. Delay does not mean denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it never will. A farmer doesn't plant a seed and expect fruit the next morning. He waters it. He protects it. He trusts the process. Love grows the same way. God is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. Every disappointment, every closed door, every unexpected delay may actually be positioning you for something greater than you ever imagined. One day, you'll look back at every tear you cried, every night you felt alone, every relationship that ended. And instead of asking, "Why did this happen?" you'll smile and say, "Now I understand." Because when God's plan finally unfolds, everything that once seemed confusing begins to make perfect sense. Have you ever noticed that some of the greatest miracles in life happen quietly? The sun doesn't make a sound when it rises. A seed doesn't make noise while growing beneath the ground. A baby's heart begins beating long before anyone can hear it. The most beautiful things often happen in silence. God works the same way. Just because you can't see Him moving, doesn't mean He has stopped working. Right now, while you're wondering when your soulmate will arrive, God is arranging moments that neither of you can imagine. He's opening doors, closing others, changing directions, protecting both of you from people who were never meant to stay. Think about this. How many times have your plans completely changed? Maybe you wanted one job, but got another. Maybe you planned to live in one city, but life took you somewhere else. Maybe you expected someone to stay forever, Yet they walked away. At the time, it all felt like disappointment. But what if those changes weren't setbacks? What if they were divine redirections? Every step you take today may be leading you closer to the person God has chosen for you. Even the moments that seem meaningless. Even the delays that frustrate you. Even the prayers that feel unanswered. Nothing is wasted in God's hands. Sometimes we ask God for love. But He first teaches us patience. We ask for a relationship. But He first teaches us character. We ask Him to send the right person. But He first helps us become the right person. That's how His timing works. Because lasting love isn't built overnight. It's built through growth. Maybe your future soulmate is learning that lesson right now. Perhaps they're healing from heartbreak. Just like you once had to. Maybe they're learning forgiveness. Learning faith. Learning how to trust God again. Without knowing it. Both of your stories are slowly moving toward the same destination. Imagine two rivers flowing from completely different mountains. For miles. They travel separately. Different paths. Different landscapes. Different experiences. Yet one day, they meet. And from that moment on, they become one river. Your journey may feel lonely today. But loneliness doesn't last forever. Sometimes God allows solitude. Because it's in silence that we hear His voice the clearest. Don't rush this season. Use it wisely. Read more. Pray more. Laugh more. Heal completely. Build your dreams. Strengthen your faith. Become someone who brings peace into another person's life. Remember, a healthy relationship doesn't begin on the day two people meet. It begins years earlier. When both people choose growth instead of giving up. One day, your future soulmate will hear your story. They'll learn about every battle you fought. Every tear you cried. Every prayer you whispered. And instead of feeling sorry for you, they'll thank God. Because those experiences shaped the incredible person standing in front of them. The waiting will make sense. The heartbreak will make sense. The unanswered prayers will make sense. Because one conversation, one unexpected meeting, one ordinary day, can change your entire life forever. Maybe that day is closer than you think. So don't lose hope. Don't settle because you're tired. Don't believe the lie that you've been forgotten. God has never forgotten your name. He knows every desire hidden inside your heart. And if He placed the desire for genuine love within you, He also knows the perfect time to fulfill it. Until then, keep becoming the person your future soulmate has been praying for.